Now this was the in-shoe system that we used. It has just under 1,000 sensors. It was cut and fit to the insole of the shoe, and the electronics were attached and the individual was tethered to a computer. So in absolutely every data capture position we had balance information in both feet. And we found some very fascinating things out of this research. I want to show you that now. Okay, this is a screenshot from a mat that we actually have now here in our biomechanics lab. This mat has the equivalent, it's from the same company, and it has 1,000 sensors under each foot. So these are actual screenshots. We've added some graphics to it so we can illustrate the process. This circled red box, and they have a circled green box on the right foot. It's called center of force. Center of force is the average weight distribution in each foot. As you go through these slides, you'll see colors in the feet, but our big focus now is center of force. I'm going to show you why. Now, what the research shows is that when we connect the center of force on the left foot to the center of force on the right foot, that is the path the golf club will track 100% of the time. So if you want to experience this, you can stand up, find a comfortable stance width, and all you need to do is increase the flexion in your left knee. Increase the flexion in your left knee over your right. So you have a little more knee flex in the left than you do the right. As you do that, as you increase that flex in the left knee over the right, you'll feel that your weight is moving forward to the toes of the left foot and back to toward the heels of the right. So let's go back to the slide then. So on this slide you can see this is would be called a closed line of force. Shoulders will rotate 90 degrees to that line. You can feel when you increase the flexion in your left knee that your weight actually loads a little more to the left and to the right. It's going to go to the toes as it shows here, and to the heel here. Your path, that's going to be called an inside-out path. Your putter will track that line if that's your line of force. In baseball, this is for a right-hander, this is an opposite field hitter. For a right-hander, you're going to be hitting the right field, right center, but you're going to find your power 90 degrees off this line. In the downswing, you're going to get stuck through in both baseball and in golf. You're going to get stuck in your ability to rotate through as your hips stop, because they're only going to rotate 90 degrees to this line as well. So as your hips stop, your arms and hands continue. It's a very handsy swing, and in golf it's going to be a thin miss. Your ball flight's going to, if it tracks this line, it's going to be right. As the hands work a little bit over time, you can also hook it from this position. And in baseball and in golf, you're going to start to experience, with repetitive motion, back pain. Frequently, but not always, that back pain is going to be on the right side, because you can imagine with the amount of torque you're generating, this overswing. In golf, it's going to be a swing that crosses the line at the top of the backswing, and in the downswing with that, it's a violent motion through as you rotate your hips. Hips stop abruptly and the arms and hands continue. Same thing in baseball or softball. Let's go to the next slide and see what we have. Now in this slide, it's just the opposite. We have a line of force. We're going to call this is an open line of force. In golf, it's an outside-in path. You're going to get stuck in the backswing. With a putter, it goes outside in, cuts across the ball. In the full swing, you're going to get stuck. And as you get stuck, the club is either going to work up and loop as you reroute it, or laid off in the backswing. It's going to be a very steep angle into the ball. You can experience this simply by standing again, finding comfortable stance width, and then increase the amount of knee bend or knee flexion on the right side. You'll feel your weight go forward, you'll feel your hips rotate left. Multiple factors will create this, but out of those factors, this is the science behind our balance system. That in baseball, you're going to be a pull hitter here, or your power is going to be to left center, 90 degrees off this line. Let's take a look at the next slide now. Now what we're looking for in balance is a straight line, but this line is too far forward. You can see that this line, center of force, is toward the balls of the feet in both the left and the right. This is going to come out of posture, or it could come out of grip as well. If you were to stand with equal knee flex in both knees and move your weight forward so you're imitating this line that you see on the screen, and just let your arms swing, you would feel that your arms are going to create a reverse C in their motion. So this is coming out of posture when we see this kind of line. In our next slide, we also have a straight line here, and you can see in this straight line you're back on your heels. So if you're still standing, go ahead and move your weight back towards your heels, let your arms swing, and you'll see a pretty severe arc. It's going to go inside, back down the line, and back inside again. You're going to have a loss of power from both this toe forward, balance position, and this heel position. And you're going to be out of balance through the swing, no matter what your sport is. What the research shows is that this is your ideal balance position. You can see that it's just forward of the center of the arch on both sides and just behind the balls of the feet. From here you will have maximum rotation, again 90 degrees, maximum power, and the least chance of injury. One of the things I haven't said yet, waiting for this slide, is one of the more significant things that came out of this research has to do with vision and what we see. In golf, when we're able to create this line of force in this position, what we found is that you have not only do you have your maximum power, but we can put a line on a ball to a toothpick on a plexiglass. And when we've created this line, and we create this line through the proper right and left hand grip size, through the proper posture, and the ideal stance width. When we create this line, the perception of a line on that ball to that toothpick is absolutely perfect. In baseball, if we step out of balance, by the way, or we change grip size, or we change posture, perception of that line changes. In baseball, what we have is we have 6 baseballs that we'll put on the floor here in the lab that have a fine line on them also. We'll line them up and have a hitter that we're fitting. Those lines are set by a laser in a straight line, 6 baseballs about 18 inches apart. Have a hitter set up in what we have determined to be their ideal stance width. And when they stand in that stance width, that line on those balls looks like it's going to go right down the center of the plate where they've been placed. All we have to do is have them step to a point out of balance in their stance width, and their perception of that line moves left or right. If we give them a bat handle that fits both left and right hand grip size and put them in the proper posture, their perception of that line and their stance width, their perception of that line is absolutely perfect. It looks like it's going to go right down the target line. If we change either left or right hand grip size on that bat, their perception of that line changes. So the implication being that the release of the pitch and the perception of the ball in space are totally a function of balance. And through the proper grip size, proper stance width, and the proper posture, we have developed the formulas where we can put players, regardless of sport, whether it's cycling, whether it's softball, whether it's baseball, whether it's golf, and multiple positions in golf for putter, driver, and irons, that perception of lines is good, injury prevention is at its highest, and the power is maximum.